Jurors in the Sean Diddy Combs trial are now speaking out, and their commentary isn't helping me make any more sense of their verdict. Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signore. I'm going to get right to it. There's a juror and an alternate who have come forward, and I expect more will. Maybe they won't out of fear. But I got some thoughts on this, and I want to break it down. And I hope this juror is watching. I hope this video can get to this said juror, because I would love to talk to you, sir. My issue isn't that you got caught up with him being a celebrity, which apparently sent this juror off. You heard a legal pundit on Thursday imply that Combs' celebrity may have played a role in the verdict. He says, "We spent over 2 days deliberating. Our decision was based solely on the evidence presented and how the law is stated. We would have treated any defendant in the same manner, regardless of who they are. I have nothing else to say." Well, first, sir, why are you so defensive? Secondly, how can you speak for all jurors in that his celebrity status didn't affect the outcome? Are you aware of their bank accounts? Are you aware of what they were doing in private? Perhaps you weren't. But how do you get to speak so confidently about all of them? This guy's clearly taking this personal, because I would suspect he's starting to feel a little like, oh man, maybe I did the wrong thing. So he's getting, oh no, I did the right. This was all right. We did it in the same manner. We followed the evidence and how the law is stated. Now, to be fair, I can blame the prosecution for this as well. But if you actually did understand how the law was stated, and it sure looks like it was there, they made it clear. I read the transcripts. They only needed 2 of 8 of these for it to have been RICO. 2 of 8 is all they need. Now, they actually convicted him of 13G, he was guilty of. The jury couldn't deny that one. Yeah, the workers, he clearly did. H, no brainer. H is also very clear. Substances were given. As the prosecution said, it all takes is 1 pill to 1 person. It's done. That's 2 out of 8. And now, okay, we're going to ignore F. Well, there was consent. I don't believe, I don't agree with that. I think Dawn Hughes messed that up tremendously because she couldn't explain it well. But let's ignore F. Fine. The forced labor, I feel like they proved that very well. Witness tampering, they clearly proved that well. They probably could have proved that even better, I think. There's apparently witnesses who left because Sean was reaching out to them earlier with his own lawyer before the feds even scheduled things. There's stuff that could have come forward that they probably could have proved that even harder. And that's on the prosecution, I will admit. But there was still enough. There was bribery. That was clear as day. Clear as day did they bribe it. Arson attempted. It was clear. Who else did it? The kidnapping. I think that was also quite clear. But okay, fine. You lump it up to F. Either way, how do you not see at least 3 out of 8? 4, I would say 4, no doubt. Bribery, substances, the workers. I would then tampering, labor. There's enough there to be like, oh, all right, yeah, this is 4 out of 8. That's RICO. That's RICO. And that's what's so frustrating about all this, people. People don't understand the law. And again, that's partly the prosecution's part. They didn't have a nice little chart like Nate the lawyer did. Shout out to Nate the lawyer who put this out there. Everything became clear when I could see it all so clearly. And the fact that they didn't show that and just put it up there as clear as day to these jurors, because I'll be honest, it sure seems like they might have needed some more clear things. I don't want to say this guy's not bright, because he's not. He's doing a smart, he's seems smart enough. Well, the commenters don't. They are really leaning on this guy. But here's George, okay? The first interview. Man, I'd love to talk to George. I suspect CNN paid George a big, fat check to do this interview. And as commenters and others I spoke to, he clearly was prepared before this interview and what to say and what not to say. And ultimately, I feel like CNN really bought a nothing burger here, because he doesn't really reveal too much at all. And he often is speaking about we the jury, what we the jury thought. Dude, you weren't allowed to talk to your fellow jury members about what you thought. And you weren't in the deliberation. So why are you constantly referring to what we all thought and this witness was the worst? Pay attention to this stuff as you're watching, because, man, the defensive comment, the first one, now this one, something feels off. I'm not going to hide that. Something is off. Watch some of these clips as we go through this. I want you to listen and give me your thoughts as well as we go through these statements coming in from the first ones from the first jury. Now, this was an alternate. He was an alternate.
There was one that I think, unanimously we kind of all said, like, wow. Like, it was almost like watching like TV. It was like, like when I think her name was Dawn Richard, that one. when she on cross-examination. I mean, I never saw such a cross-examination. It was very impressive to watch.
What was it about it?
The
question was asked like what was the most thing that you sort of didn't believe?
I think just how the defense, got into her and really made her, look very not credible. I mean, I even wrote in my notebook that it was like a takedown.
Really? And that was pretty early on.
That was pretty early on.
From the opening.
Notice how he even said, we all were like, wow, we all thought this. How do you know that, brother? How do you know what everybody's thinking? Red flag number one for me. So yeah, that was the first person asked about what made her credibility, about the doubt that he was having, because he did feel like there was doubt. I want to go to the next clip as well here. Various clips we're going to go through here to watch this. Actually, no, I'm going to continue on this clip. There's a little bit more.
Statements. Did you have a mindset of who you thought had a better case?
No. I think overall, from the way I look at it, both sides presented really good. Both sides presented themselves well. We were very impressed with the prosecution and the defense, how they, their professionalism, how they carried themselves. I mean, it was really good lawyering, as they say.
Well, again, I wasn't in the room, so I can't assure you, but Emily, others who we've talked to, a lot of people in our audience didn't want to accept. We're warning of this from day one, that the jury wasn't feeling the prosecution as much as they were feeling the defense. And this only adds to that of what they were seeing in that courtroom. Let's continue.
It was a tough case to prove.
Why?
I mean, when you look at the charges, kidnapping, arson, forced labor, the government had one side, but then the defense, they had some pretty good rebuttals to it. So I mean that I think added some doubt always, and I think in people's mind.
You didn't.
Again, speaking for everybody, I think he's trying to do that to play safe, like we, the jury. But you can only speak for yourself, dude.
What were you seeing then?
There was sexual activity, but I mean, it wasn't really.
Was it force?
No, it didn't seem forced.
This is about the tapes that he got to watch that no one else will ever see, rightfully so. But he's about to call them tame.
It was actually like pretty tame.
Really?
Yeah.
Did she?
It was just a lot of rubbing oil and stuff on there. It wasn't anything too graphic. I would say.
Let me ask you.
Interesting. It wasn't too graphic. It was tame. Okay. Well, I haven't seen them, so I can't say how crazy that sounds.
But did it surprise you when it came to Cassie Ventura that they did not convict on sex trafficking?
No, I don't. I think it was a difficult thing to prove, and I think there was always some doubt, whether, because I think what the judge says, it has to be forced, and I think the defense did show some messages where it didn't seem that it was forced.
Oh, her text messages when she talked about it.
Yeah.
That was really important to you to consider.
I think that was one aspect. Yes.
Did that make you feel that it was consensual?
It did seem like it. Yeah.
Talk to me about.
Even in the videos and everything seemed very consensual.
Really?
Yeah.
So he said at one point earlier that he believed Cassie, but this was really what he really believed, that, well, I believe that it was all consensual. And that's been something that's been out there a lot. To be fair, a lot of people out there were making that argument. The jury, apparently, unless something went wonky here, the jury agreed.
One part for me that seemed a little strange was the
we're talking
50
about
pages
Jane.
worth of notes. Because at the end, one part for me that seemed a little strange was the night, I think, when Jane was in, when they had the fight.
Yeah.
The timing seemed a little like you going from like one closet to another closet to it just, something didn't add up there.
How about?
Interesting. I want to go to another clip here as touching upon being impartial.
Separate it all in this. But when you talked to them, were they familiar with who he was? Did his celebrity?
Did the jury know who Diddy was? His celebrity
status seem to impact them at all?
No, I don't think so. No, I think everyone was really waiting for the interpretation of the law, And
Is that because you were confused about the case or because you just wanted to know your marching orders?
I think we wanted to know our marching orders and how we need to look at everything. I think we were really, I think, at least for me, we want to be, and we are asked to be as impartial as possible. So we needed to know, you hear both sides of, one side, the other side, and it's very important to know what we're actually supposed to be, ruling at and how we're supposed to be looking at it from the judge.
There was a juror who was excused.
They didn't know much about that, to be fair. But again, the reason I'm being harsh on this guy, George, I don't mean to be. I would like to talk to him. I'm sure I won't, judging by my bias and frustration. But my anger is more at the prosecution. I know they said it. I know they explained this. But I've had too many arguments with people online who don't understand what RICO actually is. Trafficking was one thing, and that, fine. We'll have that debate. You can do whatever. I don't agree with it, but that's separate. But everybody keeps trying to blend the two as if they're the same thing. Now, yes, there is that in this. That's one of the 8 charges within RICO. But if we eliminate that, there's still 7 others. 7 others, one of which he was convicted of. So it's kind of hard because that's how it actually works. Now, right or wrong, that's the law. And that's what's frustrating to me with this guy, because I feel like he didn't fully understand it. Now, they talk about the tape, and I can't show the tape, but he does admit.
It was a very bad video. I think they showed it enough. I mean, they tried to show it both sides, and
Did it make a difference to you in the actual charges that you would have had to deliberate over? Because he wasn't charged with
he wasn't charged
alone.
with domestic violence. No.
Did that surprise you?
No, because I don't think domestic violence is a federal crime. So.
Did it cloud the way you saw the rest of the charges by seeing that video?
No, I think we looked at just what we were supposed to be, what the judge had said we were supposed to look at, and then based off of the evidence that was presented to us, they ruled in that way.
Do you think he should go to prison?
That's for the judge to decide.
This
I
guy.
mean, he was found guilty on both counts. So we're the sentencing is not up to us.
Mm-hmm.
It's not up to me. It's up to the judge, who was by the way, we were all in jury
the judge. I want to
way
add one
he
more
conducted and being discussed. But
talked about.
Thank you for telling us
What would you want to say to Diddy? Would you have anything to say to
what
Diddy?
you were thinking.
no problem. Thank you.
Oh,
From what we saw,
I don't have that.
I can't speak for as a federal people that are with.
For talk to Diddy. What would you tell him about how you saw this trial?
He is asked then, what would you ever say to Diddy about this trial? And I did appreciate this answer.
To be honest, I really wouldn't want to talk to him or anyone associated with that. I just wanted to kind of tell my side of the story, but I really wouldn't want to, associate with him or any of the people that are with him.
I don't blame you, dude, on that one. I don't blame you, but it's all of it just plays weird to me. And again, I'm not saying this guy got paid, but I would not be surprised if this guy got paid. I've had other people say, yeah, they pay up to $50,000 or more for these types of exclusives to get someone to actually come talk. He can also write a book at some point, be the guy who gets out. A lot of people, use the jury. They're out of work for a while. It is kind of a thing. A lot of people don't want to put themselves in the spotlight. This guy put himself in the spotlight very neutrally, and wasn't actually one of the jurors that had really the impact, but was able to sort of share his perspective. And clearly, had he been in there, he would have said the same thing. The jurors that did make the vote, sounds like he would have done the same thing. So what do you think of all this? Does this surprise you still? There's lots more pouring in regarding the Diddy topic. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. We're not going away with this topic. We're going to keep you informed. Hit the bell for all alerts so you get those notifications. Smash that like button and leave a comment down below. Also, if you didn't hear, I got subpoenaed by Blake Lively. And oh my God, look at this. We are almost at $14,000 towards a legal fund. It blows my mind. All funds are going to go towards the lawyers. I don't know how expensive this could be. I know they got lots more money than me. The lawyers, and then the production on the film, which now is taking a turn of a lot more we got to go incorporate, which, makes things a little bit more pricey. So If you'd like to help, so many of you guys have stepped up. I'm going to fight this. I'm not allowing them to just get what they want. Freedom of speech, the press, it's something we got to stand up for. So thanks to everybody who donated already. I'm going to put the link to the Give, Send, Go down below in the comments as well if you'd like to learn more. You can also learn about our documentary. Please head on over and go to itendswithjustice.com. The best way to help there is to become a member. Right there, click member, click here to sign up so we can get you to be a part of our group, as well as you'll get access to the movie when it's available. So head on over. You can also do it over by member perks. I guess I got to make that clear. Is that clear for you guys to know how to sign up? We will work on that to make sure, but that's the best way you can support, as well as signing up to become a member on our website, popcornplanet.com, or via itendswithjustice.com. Thank you guys so much for watching. Happy 4th of July. Stay tuned. We got a lot more coming to your way here on Popcorn Planet.